The idea that came from Tyler 21 of preserving our history and sharing our history has come to fruition. We have 30 stones that are now around the square in Tyler, Texas, and we have 3 today and another one that I know of that's in the works. So this continues to be an exciting part of downtown. It's a tremendous way for us to let people who have never been in Tyler and people who grew up here know or be reminded of why we are such a great city. The Historic Preservation chapter specifically said that we want to promote and display diverse aspects of Tyler's history to enhance residents and visitor awareness of its importance. We are doing that in downtown Tyler. We pay tribute to people, places, and events for their contribution on our history for Tyler and Smith County. The ones that were nominated and are being recognized today are Maddie Jones, Joe Zappa, and Sarah McClendon.
Good morning, everybody. It's my honor today to talk about Sarah McClendon. Sarah Newcomb McClendon was a longtime White House reporter who covered presidential politics for nearly half a century. She founded her own freelance news service as a single mother in post-World War II era and became known as a model for women in the press and as a vocal advocate for various causes, particularly those of the United States military veterans. McClendon was best known, however, for questions at the United States presidential news conferences, which often ranged from aggressive to brash to blunt. The youngest of 9 children, McClendon was born on July 8, 1910, and was reared here in Tyler, Texas. Her birthplace is listed on the National Register of Historic Places listing in Smith County, is a recorded Texas historic landmark, and a Tyler historical landmark right over there in, amazingly enough, the McClendon House on Houston and Vine and Palace. McClendon graduated from Tyler Junior College in 1928 and from the University of Missouri School of Journalism in 1931. After graduation, McClendon worked for the Tyler Courier-Times, the Tyler Morning Telegraph, where she covered the New London schoolhouse explosion, and the Beaumont Enterprise. As reporter in Beaumont, McClendon wrote a series of articles criticizing the Women's Army Auxiliary Corps, the very branch of service in which she would soon enlist. With America's entry into World War II, McClendon volunteered to serve in the United States Army. After learning that she did not have the academic qualifications to join military intelligence, she enlisted in the Women's Army Auxiliary Corps and reported for duty in September 1942. Initially, she served there in the Public Relations Department, then attended Officer Candidate School, was promoted to lieutenant, and eventually was assigned to the Army Surgeon General's office as a public relations officer. While in the service, McClendon met and was briefly married to John Thomas O'Brien. O'Brien was killed in World War II prior to the birth of their daughter, Sally Newcomb McDonald, who was born in June 1944. After insisting upon her full rights and privileges as a first lieutenant, McClendon was the first Army officer to give birth at a military hospital, Walter Reed Hospital. As a result of that pregnancy, McClendon was honorably discharged in June 1944 from the military. And as a single mother, she used her Washington, D.C. press connections to obtain a job as a Washington correspondent, starting work the same month as her daughter's birth. Famed newspaperman Bascom N. Timmons hired McClendon as a Washington correspondent for the Philadelphia Daily News. In 1946, when Timmons discharged McClendon to make room for all the reporters returning from the military service, she started her own service, the McClendon News Service, which provided Washington dispatches and columns to member newspapers and personal subscribers. A single mother, McClendon often brought her young daughter to news conferences. For the next several decades, she attended White House press conferences on behalf of her McClendon News Service, becoming a Washington institution. And that will conclude the presentations. Now we'll hear again from the mayor.
What wonderful stories. But more so than the stories are the legacy of each and every one of these people and what they did to make Tyler great. In addition to their personal legacy, we have representatives here today from some of the families. We have Sarah McClendon's daughter. Is Sally here?
My niece.
Oh, okay. It said, okay. So we've got Ann here today. We're going to have an unveiling, and I have a certificate for each of you. We also have Martin Hines here. We have one of our council members here. Mr. Hines is very active in our downtown as well as other parts of the community and is extremely supportive in all of our endeavors regarding history as well as anything with arts in the downtown area. So if we can get our representatives here, please come forward, each of you, and anyone with you that you want to be up here, please come. The first stone is Miss Jones, the one in the middle is Mr. Zeppa, and the one on the end is Miss McClendon's. And so if you'll stand behind each of those. Rob, come on up. Okay. Okay, and if you will take the roses, and then we'll get ready to unveil the stones. I have a, but if you'll reach and get the covering, we will unveil these new markers so everyone can enjoy them. 1, 2, 3. Mr. Martin, I would like to ask Martin Hines, our council member, to make some closing remarks.
Thank you. I just wanted to say thank you to all the presenters and all the hard work of your committee, Mr. Patterson. Y'all did a great job, and thanks for all the families. And this is a wonderful program. We're so proud to have it in the city of Tyler and all the wonderful things we're doing downtown. Thank you, Mike, for your committee again and all the work that y'all are doing.
Back here. I didn't know if you wanted our personal photographer here.
Well, I had no idea what to expect.
I didn't either.